Hello everyone, this is Angela and welcome to my channel. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so that you will know whenever I upload any new content. Today's video will be an oracle reading about the tragic passing of Khylie Sorrells. For those who don't know, Khylie was the 9-year-old girl who was deleted in Houston maybe about a couple of days ago. It's so tragic. And the reason that I chose to do an oracle reading was because the alleged suspect, Jeremiah Jones, is claiming that he is not responsible for her horrendous execution style deletion. Meanwhile, Kylie's mother, Brittany Sorrells, is stating that he is 100% the person who not only erased her daughter's existence from the planet, but also fired a shot into her own shoulder, which she's healing from. Before I go any further, I want to take the time to offer my sincerest condolences to Kylie's mother, her family, her friends and loved ones, her community, and so on. The details of this situation was just too much for me to endure it in one setting, and I don't even know them. So I can only imagine the pain and shock that they are processing right now. It is my goal to hopefully allow everyone to have some answers and possibly some closure. You know, and it's a lot, and I just can't imagine what they're going through. So with that, let's get right into the reading. I did ask several questions of the Medu Neter and the I-Ching oracles about the situation, but I will stick to the ones that are the most pertinent just to keep it brief. So I asked about the role that Jeremiah Jones may have played in Kylie's passing. I phrased the question to be as unbiased as possible, basically asking, did he or did he not do it? And y'all, let me tell you, the Shep's card came right up, which stands for the ancestor. So what it means is that he was the one to place her into the ancestral realm. He did it. A lot of the time I edit my videos because of the multitude of conditions that I'm in, and the background noise can be a bit much. However, I will allow you to see the unedited version of this portion of the reading along with my reaction. He did it. A dude did it. The man who's claiming that he didn't shoot that 9-year-old, this is the ancestor card. He did it. It's a man named Jeremiah Jones down in Houston that claimed that he didn't shoot that baby. That 9-year-old girl who got shot in the head. He walked into the room. This is an ancestor card. He did it. He did it. Because I specifically asked, please comment about the participation, if any. You know, I'm not judging here, that Jeremiah Jones may have played or may have had, and the little girl's name was Khylie Sorrells. May she rest in peace. That he may have played in her passing. And the first thing that came up is the card for the ancestor. He did it. Because what it means is that he put her in the ancestral realm. You know, some things I hate to be right on. Or I hate to be the one to bear the news of what's right when it's not beneficial. And this is one of them. He did it. He's lying. Please comment about Jeremiah's participation in Khylie's passing. Did he do it? You see, this pendulum is swinging in a yes response. Is Khylie's mother telling the truth that he was involved in her injury and in in Khylie's passing? You see how strong this pendulum is swinging? See, I'm not moving my hand. If you look at this frame very carefully, and it's constantly swinging yes. In order for me to manipulate this thing, I would actually have to be doing this. Just so you'll know, I've been doing this for years. I have nothing to gain by telling you what I'm telling you. But this man is responsible, according to the oracles. I'm going to consult the I-Ching oracle. So I've consulted Medu Neter oracle. I've consulted a pendulum, which is a type of oracle. Now I'm about to consult I-Ching oracle. One thing you need to know about oracles is that they all tell the truth. They have their different ways of expressing themselves. So someone who reads tarot cards will come up with the same outcome as I have reading Medu Neter cards. But the way the response comes out from here and from here is different. As like different people will say different things, but they all can tell the truth, is what I'm trying to say. As I mentioned in the video, he did it. And you saw that I even pulled out the pendulum and it gave a yes response. The next card was Seker. And y'all, this one is a hard message for me to deliver, but I will do it. First, let me advise that I am personally a mother who's lost a baby. That pain is unbearable. I could never wish this situation on anyone, and it hurts my soul whenever another parent, particularly a mother, joins the club that I am a part of. It's not easy. So what I'm about to say is in no way at all an attempt to diminish the circumstances that are being discussed. Seker is an energy that deals with timing and destiny, and also a high level of spiritual power. So here's the hard part of what I have to say. It could have been a car accident. It could have been childhood cancer. It could have been an infection. It could have been swimming too far and a current being too strong while she was in the water. It could have happened any other way. But this is an indication that it was Khylie's time. It's hard to say this given the circumstances. And trust me when I say I would rather have Khylie here, and I would have preferred that Jeremiah take her place instead in the ancestral realm. If we had a choice to be able to switch them, I would have been the first one in line doing it, you know. And by no stretch of the means am I suggesting that Jeremiah should not be held fully accountable, which in the state of Texas means the final penalty, if you know what I mean. This is social media, and I'm trying to be careful with some of the things that I'm saying so that they don't take down my video. So what I am saying is that the oracles are revealing that everyone has a time limit on earth. Some will live longer than others. Me personally, I look forward to each child living a long time, being able to live long enough to one day see their own children, their own grandchildren, and even their great-grandchildren. However, there are those who will not make it that far, and it's hard to fathom. I know, and that's the hard part of what I'm saying about Khylie's passing. However, all is not lost, though no one can blame someone for feeling as though it has been. Like everything has been lost, you know, no judgment here. Here's the part that I hope that her loved ones will take away from this reading. Khylie's life was not in vain, and the circumstances of her passing also was not in vain. there is an opportunity for her to have a legacy and for her name to always be honored and remembered. And this is the part of Sacred that deals with high spiritual power. What happened to Khylie was so shocking that now everyone will remember her. And lives are being saved right now because of her. Her life was not in vain, y'all. And she will always be there with you. Okay, so that was what the Medu Neter had to say. Let me share with you the oracle reading from the I-Ching oracle. So the I-Ching pointed out that hexagram number 22, which is like a flower, a beautiful flower. And so it pointed to Khylie being this beautiful flower, flourishing and filled with life. And there were what we call broken lines with the I-Ching. And what I'm about to say is going to be difficult for some to hear. Listen, there are some miserable people who feel that their lives are bleak and they know that their futures are dim. And I'm not saying every single person, but there is a percentage who can be a danger to others. And this is my interpretation of the oracle's response because, as I mentioned before, hexagram number 22 represents the flower. You see, the flower grows in its place, it's increasing its blooms, it's giving off a fragrance which attracts the attention of the bees, it attracts the attentions of humans. Some people can appreciate the flower and even nurture it. Some, however, are quite destructive because when they see the flower and its beauty, it reminds them of their own lacking. So rather than take a note and do better for themselves and become a flower themselves, they will destroy that which is beautiful. Basically, it's like misery loves company. So certainly that's what happened with Jeremiah and his point of view towards Khylie. Now it goes into hexagram number 20, which is like contemplation. So now he's sitting here, really thinking backwards on why he did it. And he's in a deep thought state behind it. It is affecting him, So let me move on to the next question. The next question I asked was basically, why did he lie about it? Why didn't he own up to it? Why did, I just can't imagine what Miss Brittany Sorrells is going through. I mean, it's already bad enough she's lost a baby, but she herself is also recovering from an injury as a result of this dude. So for him to turn around and lie about it, it just adds to the pain. It just adds to the pain. So let me go into what the Medu Neter revealed. And okay, so it's basically saying that he thought the first card that came up was Geb. And Geb deals with physical health, physical well-being, financial concerns, and so on and so forth. So he thought that it would be a wise thing to claim that he was not responsible in order to protect his own health. And the wise part came up because the next card was Tahuti. Tahuti represents wisdom. And so those two cards together, Geb and Tahuti, it gives insight that the person is thinking about their health and well-being. They're thinking about what it's going to look like, especially Tahuti represents like an older man. So he's wondering what the rest of his life is going to look like at this point. And as we know, criminals that hurt children are considered to be among the lowest of the low inside and outside of prison. So he's very concerned about his physical health. And that's what the Medu Neter reveals. Now, the I-Ching shows hexagram number 51, which means that there was a shock. Hexagram number 51 represents like thunder. So, when you hear thunder, how some people react because they know the next thing that's coming is the lightning. In this case, the lightning represents accountability. So I don't believe that he planned to do this. His actions towards Khylie seem to have been in the heat of the moment. Hexagram 51 had the second and third line stress, which converted it to hexagram number 34. And this represents like a great power, like being overwhelmed in this instance. So basically, he did not know what to do because the situation grew far beyond what he had initially anticipated, if that makes sense. So basically, he was trying to cover his own hind parts for fear of what would happen to him as a person who took a precious, lovely, beautiful little girl who was filled with life off of the planet. And it's unbelievable. As I mentioned before, my heart goes out to all of her loved ones. May she rest in peace, and may Mr. Jones be held fully accountable for his actions. I hope that this reading will help Khylie's loved ones to gain some closure. You all take care of yourselves until next time.